Hello everyone, it's Pat at Beads and Plenty More, and today I'm going to show you how to make this bracelet. It's got 10mm wood beads and a large hole silver bead, and then I've used a magnet clasp that coordinates nicely with the silver beads. So this looks quite nice on the wrist when you put it on. It's got the wood beads with the suede leather going around the outside of the wood bead, and then all of them going through the silver bead and around in a peekaboo fashion with the wood beads. So let's get started. I'm going to use a black cord this time, and what you want to do with the cord is to take the end and use something like an awl or a large needle and make a hole at the end of this needle. Be really careful with these awls. They're very, very sharp. You don't want to end up hurting yourself. So then, after I get that little hole in the suede leather, I'll go down to the other end here where I've got the hole made, and then I inserted a piece of wire into that hole to make like a wire needle. So what I did then was to feed on the beads, and I've got some of them fed on, and I'll feed on the rest here. So the next thing is we need a wood bead coming up next. And so I'll just show you how this wire works so good with the leather. So it comes up, and of course it won't go easily over that. The hole is too small for this leather, so what happens, we give it a tug with the wire needle, and it works very, very well for getting it on. So then, of course, the silver ones are very easy to put on. And we'll put another one on, show you again how just get it up to the leather and then just give it a pop to get it to go over. And I've used 8 wood beads and 9 of the silver beads for my design. Okay, so this is the last one I'm going to put on. I'm going to not put the 2 end beads of silver beads on until after I've fed the leather through. So now that I've got my amount of beads that I need all on, I'm going to put them down to the far end of the leather cord here, so they can join up their friends down here. And I'm going to leave a bit of space between them here, it's working space, like that, so that there's room that I can get the wire needle back through to do the round. So now I'm going to leave a loop here at this end to where my clasp is going to go. So leave a loop big enough that I can hook the clasp through there. And then I'm going to feed this wire needle through the silver beads, only the silver going back. And you want to be very careful to keep this leather so that it doesn't roll. Maybe need a little bit more space on this end, because I'm going to put the silver bead on here and then the clasp. So we feed this down through, again, that's why I say we need a little bit of working room. So you don't want to have those beads pushed too tight right yet. Oh, I went through the wood bead too. There we go. And again, watch that my leather has no twists in it. And I have a twist there, so we'll just take that out before we go on. So I'm going to go like that all the way down to the other end, and then I'm going to come back and show you how I come back the other way. Okay, so I'm back. I've got the leather threaded on the one side of the wood beads all the way down, and I have come back to this end, made a loop with my extra cord, and then I did put the silver bead that's going to be at the end on. I'm starting back on the other side of my wood beads. So one thing that I will talk about too, when you're going through this silver bead, it helps to keep, you don't want that leather to twist, so it helps to oh, come on, there we are. Once I get that into the silver bead, keep it over on the right side. Hold your finger on the side of the wood bead in the direction that you want the leather to go, and then you'll get maybe some twists, but you can sort them out once, because you've got it sitting the way you want it originally here. So get around here, and we'll hold here on the side of the bead as you go through the big hole bead. So back again. It's a little tedious, but it's kind of easy once you get the feel of it. Get that going, and then I'm going to bring my leather cord over here. This piece that's coming out of the previous silver bead, and I'll hold on the side of the bead here to make sure that it doesn't twist any more than it has to. And then we can just pull the twists out before we go on to the next one. So let's see, that's what's happening here. Okay, I'm going to finish going the rest of these beads, and then I'm going to show you how I put the clasp on. Okay, so I'm ready to add the clasp. I've added it on the one side, and we're going to do it on the other side. So we'll take the silver bead off, and I'm going to use a 20 gauge wire, heavy wire, fairly heavy wire, to wrap these three ends that I've got here now. So in order to wrap, I usually like to do a sharp hook like that, so that it will help you to hold on to the one end as you're working. And quite often I trim my other end off, the first end, because it doesn't do as tight a wrap. So we'll go around here like that and try to keep this snug. See, my first wrap isn't as tight as the one I can do after, so we can always cut away that first part. Get some nice wraps here so that they hold that leather nice and firm. Okay, so that's going to be good there. I will take this one and tug it and see if I can get it tight. And if I can't, I'll just take it off. No, I got it nice and tight. So then this guy gets cut away. Don't need that many wraps. And we're going to cut the leather at this point. Tuck it a little bit further down. Okay, so I'm going to snip away this excess leather here, fairly close. And I'm going to have this is going to come up and come through the silver bead, and then a tiny bead to tidy up the end, and I'll just cut away the excess wire there. So now I'm going to add some E6000 glue for safety. That's what this glue is like. Very strong glue, and it also adheres well with metal. So put a little bit on here with my metal wire, and that metal bead's going to go over top of this too. Just about finished that little tube. There we are. So pop this big hole bead on top, and it's going to slide down over top of my wrapped unit there, but I don't want it to come so that it's out the end, just to the end. Now my wire is going to go through this littler bead, and the reason for this bead is to just snug right into that hole there to finish the bottom. You can see on this end, it makes a nicer finish than leaving the big hole. Okay, so then this piece will go through actually I'm going to make my loop first. Make a nice wire loop and bring it down snug so that I keep that unit nice and tight in there. And then we'll slide the clasp on. Might have to open that a little to get the clasp to go around. There we are. So this piece is going to get cut away, my excess wire. I always like to work with a long piece of wire. It's so much easier than trying to master a tiny little piece of wire. And get this loop so that it snugs right down into that bead, and then I'm going to cut away the excess there. that I don't have a sharp point sticking out. There we are. So now I'm just left with a single loop, which in 20 gauge wire is strong enough. You could do a wire wrap loop too. That would be even stronger but do use a lighter weight wire. This is heavy wire. Okay, so snap it together with the clasp, and there we have the version with the black leather, and the other one had the gray leather. So thanks for watching. Bye for now.